My name is Kerri Rivas, and I work for the California Highway Patrol, and I'm with the Investigative Services Unit in Southern Division. I got into social work, and I got my bachelor's degree in that, and I dabbled in social work, foster care. I worked with veterans for a while, and at that point I had a career change at the age of 28 and decided that I wanted to be a California Highway Patrol officer. I think the careers that I draw to are careers that help people. Police officer is kind of like social worker. You're out there trying to help your community. I was born and raised in LA County, and so I take a lot of pride in solving crime in LA County, especially sex crimes, because I feel that there's people preying on the vulnerable parts of society and the vulnerable people in the community. Currently, I'm with the LA Regional Human Trafficking Task Force, and I've been there for 2.5 years. When you talk about LA to people, they think of Hollywood, glitz, glam, all the tall buildings and all that kind of thing. But what they might not see is the underworld of this sex business that goes on with traffickers, victims, young children that are out there on the streets, walking the blade, selling their bodies for sex. We do 3 types of work with this task force. The first type of thing that we do is we try to go out there and rescue as many commercially sexually exploited children as we can. That's the first and number 1 goal. The second would be to aggressively investigate and prosecute traffickers. And then the last goal of what we do is we will do undercover operations, and that's where we go after the buyers or the Johns, the clients. You know, we put decoys out there and we pose as commercial sex workers online or on the streets, and we start making arrests that way as well. So the task force has a multitude of agencies. You'll have the federal agencies such as FBI, Homeland Security. You'll also have state agencies such as myself, California Highway Patrol. You'll have the county, which would be the deputies. And then you also have non-government agencies such as the Coalition to Abolish Slavery and Trafficking and Saving Innocents. Those agencies help our victims. Once we make arrests for prostitution, we don't just take those girls, put them in jail, and go about our way. That's not our task force's goal, because what's going to happen is those girls are going to get out of jail and continue to do the exact same thing. So what we'll do is we'll bring these non-government agencies, and once the girl's arrested, we'll have them talk to the agencies and see if they can figure out a plan for them. You know, are they being trafficked? Do they need housing, food? You know, what is a plan that we can start doing to change their life around so they don't feel like they have to go back out on the streets and continue performing sex acts for money. So we're going to take you back to the command post where they're going to offer you services. If you'd like to take them, get out of the light. Is that something you might be interested in? At least hearing what they have to say. They can offer housing, counseling services, food stamps, things like that. What it's really about with these victims is compassion. If they don't see that compassion in you or that empathy, they're not going to open up. If they do see that and they see that they can trust you, and that might take some time, it doesn't matter at that point if you're male or female in law enforcement. You're going to get their trust, and in that trust, you'll get them to open up.
Where are you from?
San Francisco.
From the city or just up that way?
No, I'm from the city.
Human trafficking has come a long way in the law enforcement world. Prior to us really knowing about human trafficking, maybe even 10 years ago, we were arresting children for prostitution. We were arresting commercial sex workers, not providing any services. And then again, the cycle would just continue, because the second they would get out, their trafficker would pick them up from the jail or bail them out. Now we're seeing tougher laws. We're seeing more time in prison. We're seeing that we're providing victim services. So now we're actually trying to help the victim. We're not just arresting them and putting them in jail. This is the first step into completely wiping out human trafficking. There's a lot of myths that people have with human trafficking, commercial sex life, prostitution, and a lot of people think those girls want to be there. That's why they're there, and that's not true. A trafficker uses a lot of manipulation, scare tactics. Maybe the girls come from nothing, and this is the first person that's shown them what they think is love. So a lot of them are not out there because it's what they want to do. I think the best part of being in this task force is when you start really getting to know the girls, and when they start trusting you, and then they start telling you things, because eventually they will tell you enough that you can go out now and open a case, do an investigation, and get this girl some help. To me, that's the best part of this job. It's not always that way. The girl's not always ready to do that, but when she is, it's just an awesome experience that you can actually have enough evidence and have that victim willing and ready to prosecute her trafficker. It takes a lot of guts. When the Highway Patrol approached me about this task force spot, I was really excited, not only because this is something I've always wanted to do, but that the Highway Patrol also saw the importance of doing something like this. And since November of 2015, we've rescued over 250 commercially sexually exploited children. We've also made over 1,000 arrests, and we have arrested close to 300 traffickers. The fact that we're doing something about it, and really what the task force's main goal is to, stomp out human trafficking altogether, I think that's just the best thing ever.